remarks. Once again, thank you so much for your time and your energy for accepting this invitation to attend this webinar. We are really looking forward to hear from you on how you are doing in terms of progressing in your career. Over to you, Sophia.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel, Mariam, that you've already made our...
Okay, sorry about that.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay. The impact of the workshop. I'd like to
Sophia, we are getting some problem to get you. You might have a network problem, right? Could you please fix it?
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
we are really getting difficulty to get you. You might have a network problem.
Oh.
Her talk is not clear, Maria.
You can also use the chat box, please, ladies. Sophia, I mean, we are losing you.
You can't hear me?
Okay. Now it's okay. Go ahead, please.
Maybe Therese, you can raise your hand or so if you can't hear me, and we'll try something else. I'm in the country in Canada, and sometimes the reception is, or the network is better than other times, so I apologize.
Now we are getting you.
Hear me out?
Yes, Sophia. Let's try.
Maybe she can bring off his camera.
And for reminding, yes.
The camera.
Okay, let us switch the camera. Yes, please, even mine. Let me sometimes. Sophia, please, can you switch your camera? We never know. Sometimes it's also impact on the network. When the network is not good, then could you just switch your camera, please? Therese, are you Therese? Therese? Oh. Okay, ladies, can you hear me?
If you continue, if you continue, I will go to another network.
It's okay for you.
Yeah,
it's okay for you?
Yeah, it's okay. Sophia, come. Switch your camera, please. Switch your camera.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
voila. Switch it on? It's
okay.
Okay.
Yes. Now
all
it's
right. Okay. Oh, Lord. It's working now? Okay. Please let me know if it doesn't work and I'll switch it off again. Thank you very much for your opening remarks, Mariam. They reminded us of the excitement and the interest and the energy we had in Dakar a couple of months ago. It was an excellent meeting. It was a very good curriculum, but it was also an amazing group of people we had there, amazing group of women leaders and researchers. And I think you did so much to make the meeting the success that it was. We would really like to, oh, someone's saying they can't hear me. Is that right? Yeah, I could perhaps change my location if you prefer to go on with the meeting, and I will change my location and come back in 10 minutes. What do you prefer?
No, maybe just go ahead with your opening remark. After, when I will take the floor, then you can change your location.
Okay.
Then
right.
I will moderate the session, the next session.
Okay. So, you know, we have been talking, Mariam and Therese and Robert Zougmoré and Alcad, we have been talking about how we can continue this momentum and this energy and continue to support a network of women leaders in Africa, which is very, very important and much needed. And I think we are seeing the great capacity the great amount of capacity and talent we have in the continent. And so AICCRA would very much like to continue to support this in some way. So we have asked you to come together to tell us, first of all, how has this helped you? Has this been a good experience for you? And how have you been able to implement what you've learned so far? What would you tell other people if we hope to have some other workshops, similar workshops in different regions in the next year? What would you tell the organizers of that workshop, and what would you tell the participants? And then I will leave it to Therese and Mariam to explain the rest of the agenda. But I would like to to just reiterate that AICCRA will be as supportive of this program as we can be. We have a new funding phase, or a new program phase, which may be confirmed in the next few months. And we will be developing a proposal for funding with CORAF on how we can continue to support leaders, and maybe not just women leaders, but young leaders, to promote the greater participation of women in climate and agricultural research in Africa, and would like very much to work with you on that. So we will do what we can to develop a proposal for the future, and look forward to learning from you today what we need to do and what would be the best activities and the range of activities that would best support an ongoing network of African women leaders. We are also doing an initial analysis of the status of the work environment in AICCRA and partner institutions. And when the results of that first snapshot come in, we will also apply for funding to expand that analysis to be more in-depth and relate more to the national context of each institution. So we welcome inputs and feedback into that project and that research as well, and hope that we can continue to develop it with you. So in the interest of moving this meeting forward, I hope you've been able to hear what I'm saying. I will pass it back to Therese, and I will sign off for a couple of minutes and find a better network connection. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sophia. That was a good one. Thank you so much. So as I can see, we are going to enjoy this webinar. Now, Therese, over to you, or shall I move on?
Yeah, please move on. It's now your turn. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Therese. Thank you, ladies, the brave ladies. I said, from now, I will call you the queens. So please.
Dr. Maiga,
yes?
We also have a veristo.
Come again?
In that meeting, we have a veristo as well. So we have a king and queens.
Sorry, I forgot that. True. Queens and king. Evaristo, how are you? Sorry, I didn't know that he was attending also. Thank you so much. The only man that we have. We'll make sure that next time in the next phase of the workshop, we are going to have a lot of men. Don't worry at all. So ladies and Evaristo and men, we would like really to hear from you on the opportunities. Please share with us the opportunities you came across that have been, according to you, useful in your career development. So we like really, I will leave the floor to you. You can raise your hand and let us hear from you. The opportunities you came across that have been really useful. One. Number two, it's also important for us to know, according to you, what are the opportunities that really fit your needs, so that we know as AICCRA and CORAF, what can we do to help you achieve the objective in terms of advancement in your career development in your institutions. So over to you. Who would like to take the floor? The floor is yours. You can raise your hand. So this is the first session. So let us hear from you. Any volunteer? Can you hear
Please,
me?
Dr. Maiga. Please, Dr.
Yes.
Maiga, can you repeat the assignment?
Thank you very much, my dear. What I'm saying, I said, you remember, we said that in your career development, in your progress, in your advancement, opportunities are very important in terms of attending scientific events. Then you can learn there to build your capacity. One. Number two, opportunities in terms of getting grants, research grants or scholarship. Look at in the WhatsApp group. As you could see, the way we are sharing opportunity for you, because it's very important. For us, how can you take advantage of those opportunities for your career development? So I said, after the Dakar workshop, maybe some of you benefited from some opportunities and how you took advantage of these opportunities to impact your career development. So then also, maybe you are expecting some opportunities that you didn't get yet. Let us know about these opportunities so that we, as AICCRA and CORAF, how we can consider these opportunities in our agenda to push forward these activities. I'm talking about the leadership, how you can continue to build and strengthen your leadership in your research institutions. So I hope now you got clearly what I'm saying. So the opportunities, I know even in this WhatsApp group, we've been also sharing a lot of opportunities. Are you really taking advantage of these opportunities? Are you really exploring these opportunities? You know, as scientific, it's very key. Attendance of scientific events, how you can also benefit from grants, research grants, and scholarship to continue building your capacity as a scientist in climate research. Over to you. Is it clear now?
Yes, it's clear.
Thank you. So don't forget, like as I said, also maybe you are feeling about some opportunities that really fit your needs that you didn't get yet. If we know, we'll see how we can help you. It's very important for your career development as scientists. And okay, Alice, I can see your hand raised. Go ahead, please. Alice, over to you.
No, Dr. Maiga, my hand is not hands up. I'm just listening.
Okay. Really? I can't. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, volunteer. Any volunteer? Maybe Evaris, the only man that we have, will take the floor. So, ou bien, I will designate, hein? Okay, let me start. If you don't volunteer, I will designate you.
Mariam is raising her hand.
Yes, Mariam.
But I can't see. Teresa, you can help me to organize, because I can't really. The only hand that I can see is the one from Alice, and she's saying that she's not the one. Okay, so please go ahead. Fatimata. Oh, Fatimata. Binta, okay, vas-y.
I'm very glad to be with you today, but I will speak in French.
Wow.
It's for everyone. Okay. Dr. Maïga, vraiment, merci beaucoup pour cette initiative, hein, à toi et à Sophia. C'est une très bonne initiative. On attendait, hein. Et je félicite et salue le dynamisme du groupe WhatsApp. On voit tout le temps les opportunités passer, les échanges. Ça même, tu l'as souligné dans ton mot d'introduction. Ce que je voulais partager comme expérience, c'est les quelques leçons que nous avons reçues par rapport à construire une équipe build and effective team lors de la session de mars, que moi j'ai eu à appliquer avec mon équipe parce que mes collaborateurs directs, c'est des jeunes. Et j'avais de petites difficultés pour avoir une équipe assez soudée, qui est réactive. J'ai mis comment on appelle ça, en application quelques conseils qui nous ont été donnés et je vois qu'il y a du résultat. Le travail, il y a encore du chemin à faire, mais ça va beaucoup servir. Et par rapport, j'étais contente d'entendre Sophia dire que il y a des opportunités en vue et qu'il y a peut-être des ressources qui seront disponibles pour organiser d'autres sessions. Et ça, je m'en réjouis. Je m'en réjouis fortement. Et j'espère qu'on va faire ça dans d'autres pays. Ça va nous permettre d'échanger et peut-être moi aussi d'improve my English.
Wow.
Si on va dans un pays. Parce qu'en fait, la formation que nous avons reçue, c'était assez global, général. Et on avait voulu aller en profondeur dans différents points qu'on n'a pas pu. Donc, je pense que déjà, en ayant l'ossature de tout ce dont on a parlé, et en essayant de prendre des modules à part, de les visiter dans les détails, ça peut être un bon début pour organiser d'autres sessions. Voilà, merci beaucoup. Je te laisse la traduction.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much, Binta. Thank you so much. So, just to summarize what just Binta said, she said that really the workshop has been really helpful, and she really used it, what she learned from the workshop. In terms of building a team, she used it in institutions, and she realized that the team she's working with is getting stronger. So really, this is just an example, sharing experience on how the workshop was helpful for her. And then she also, she's very happy to know that in terms of perspective, AICCRA is going to have other source of financing so that we continue these activities. And then, of course, it will give opportunities for some of you to learn from each other. I mean, if we extend, this is what she said, it will give opportunity to extend this workshop and also this capacity building by including other countries. And for you also, it will provide you opportunities in terms of exchange visit, to learn from each other. But moving forward, I just thought about something from what Binta said. I think I will make a recommendation, but I need to discuss with Sophia when she will be back. We can consider English courses for some of you who really need to attend the courses. We can do that with AICCRA financing. Yes. I will take this really forward. No problem. We will take it because it's part of the capacity building, actually. As a scientist, you need to be bilingual. So I think it's an opportunity for you guys, for the Francophone people also, to learn English and take advantage really from publications and everything, because most of the publications are in English. So I think it really makes sense to consider these activities. So I will suggest it, and we'll push this forward. Okay, who else? Hey, now I can see.
Aye.
Belko.
Aye.
Go aye. Seki, Felicia.
Oui. There's
Alice.
Marine, and then Alice.
Okay, okay, Marine, then Alice. Okay, Felicia, I thought you Teresa, I told you, please help me. Now, Marine, Belko, and after Alice, and then Felicia. Go ahead, Belko.
Thank you, Grant, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. Good morning. I really appreciate this initiative, this nice initiative to continue the collaboration and set a platform on WhatsApp to discuss and share some experience, some opportunity also because you may know that for leadership women, to promote women leadership, we need also to increase our scientific capacity.
True.
We need it. We really need it. And you share some important information that can help us to apply for some interesting training or workshop. Really appreciate. Thank you very much for that, for all the team that organizing this initiative. What I have to say that I really appreciate the training on leadership, but we did some training, but this training also come complete and increase again our leadership capacity. And you play those role in our institution with our colleague, with our team, and I realize that will be benefit much to us. For example, I am co-leading a very difficult project. Mariam knows something on that.
I know.
On breeding, and a lot of frustration.
I know.
Very difficult for me even to continue, but I use my confidence, my self-control to push and continue to work with the partner. And even Mariam know that I even come to her to tell him that I want now to stop because it's
no,
difficult.
you are not stopping. You are not stopping, please. You are not stopping.
But I did not stop. I continue working with partner, continue ignoring and use my confidence, my experience to work. Actually, I am proposed by the partner to be the PI now of the project. And this is a very nice achievement for me. And leadership is behavior. How you can improve your behavior to accept everyone collaborate with people and ignoring also everything that may help you to continue your work properly. So I appreciate very well. Also, one other thing is that leadership is increasing your scientific capacity. I was recently graduated on one breeding course in Nairobi on African Plant Breeding Academy. So it's something like inspiring as a colleague also to continue applying for some short training to increase your scientific capacity. That is something that very good to promote leadership women. Another thing is that what we can now request for AICCRA is how he can support us on scientific writing, because now the new proposal, the new call we are receiving is about how you can integrate gender in our activity now. So to increase our capacity on gender mainstreaming is something like very good for us. Also, how we can improve our communication, how to communicate our result, how we can communicate with the community of practice. It is something not easy, but we need capacity building on that. Because if you work and you don't share your result, you don't know how to write an article or how to. So this kind of experience we need, we need to increase it. Maybe I will stop here to let our colleague include their opinion about what you are asking to us. Thank you, Madam.
Belko, I really, you made what you shared, it's just amazing. Probably I mean, beside you, some other fellows are facing the same challenges. It's like you have opportunities from your partners to access decision-making position. And remember, the aim of this workshop, leadership workshop, don't forget it. You said, because we realized in terms of gender gap in agriculture and climate research, number one, women getting limited access to climate smart technologies to enhance food productivity, to meet the population food demand in a climate change context. Number two, female research and climate research, getting challenges to access decision-making position. So the representation of female researchers in research and development in terms of accessing in a leadership position is a challenge. Now, for a project like AICCRA, it is a must to contribute to close the gender gap. So look at the way this activity for us is so important. Now, what Mariam is saying, now she got the opportunity to access a decision-making position, like a kind of coordinator for a project. But within institutions, she's facing challenges to access the position while the partner even made the request. Are you getting me? So I think you can even, this is an opportunity for some of you who maybe was faced with this kind of challenge, how you manage to overcome or to deal with, then you can share your experience with Mariam and other people who might be in the same situation. Number two, what Mariam said, I like it. The recommendation, I can tell you. Now, it's like we are getting, we have now 3 recommendations. Number one, recommendation for capacity building in English. Number 2 recommendation is going to be capacity building in scientific writing. For your information, it was planned with the leadership workshop held in Dakar. But for some reason, we just decided to put emphasis on the leadership workshop moving forward. Then we'll organize the scientific writing. It was there in the first event concept note, you could see it. So thank you so much, Mariam, for bringing this up. We are going to consider this as a recommendation. And number 2, also capacity building on communication, how you guys, you researchers, can communicate the outcome of your research. Thank you so much, Mariam, really appreciate it. So let us move on. Therese, who is the next? Alice?
Alice, yes.
I think it's me.
Alice, go ahead, yes. Please.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Maiga. Thank you, everyone. How I take advantage of this workshop on women leadership. I take 2 advantages. The first one, the workshop helped me to improve my results by the way that I have learned how to share the different tasks with my team. By doing personally by myself, the most important are the urgent one. By deferring the one which is not urgent but important, and transferring to my team the other tasks. By doing so, I have very be able to reach my result on with the limit, in the limit of the time. Okay. That is the first part. Secondly, by this workshop, I am now more prepared how to do with my team. In the past, I was very focused on the reaction. Every time I was a reactive person. Nowadays, I am more focused myself to the response than to react. So I have learned more about this word, don't react but respond. By the end, I have one expectation. My expectation is that our next training, because I heard at the beginning to Sophia that we have funding to continue our training. So
which one? Which training?
Training en woman leadership. It's something that I heard. En fait, j'ai compris au début avec Sophie, pardon, que nous aurons encore des opportunités d'améliorer ou bien d'approfondir cette formation. Ainsi, my expectation is that the next training will be more theoretical than more practical than theoretical, because by this exercise, blind funding. In the group, we have improved our skill communication, because by this blind funding, we know how to communicate and to achieve results. So if the exercises are more practical than theoretical, we are able to learn more. That is my expectation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alice. That was a great one. So okay, no problem. We took note. I took note. I can tell you we are going to take this up. Don't worry. It's true. Sophia said it. We do have opportunities, and we didn't want to tell you now that it's official that AICCRA is going to have a second phase. Definitely, because we have been asked, Sophia and myself, to work on kind of planning. We did, and we shared with the World Bank people. So don't worry. So we are going to take this up. I mean, in terms of continue the capacity building on women leadership to see how we can continue to strengthen. Because we started, it is a process. I agree with you. And then if you see, for instance, other additional needs in terms of training, like for the lead, the communication, English, and also, so just bring them up. No problem, we'll take them. I think because as far as it's concerned, capacity building, I think we are fine. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, now who is next? Felicia? Thank you. And also what Alice also show how the training was useful to her in terms of team building, in terms of communicating, or planning, organizing your work. So we are really grateful. At least we could see that the workshop was really useful, and it could also impact on your career development somehow. Thank you. Over to you, Felicia.
OK. Merci, bonjour tout le monde. Merci aux organisateurs de cette rencontre de ce soir. Pour ma part, pour répondre aux questions que tu as posées, je voulais dire qu'il est un peu tôt, ça fait déjà quelques mois, mais qu'il est un peu tôt. Aujourd'hui, on ne peut pas mesurer, les progrès depuis la formation de Dakar. Néanmoins, je vous assure que les conseils qu'on a reçus, les éléments qu'on a reçus, on les applique pour améliorer la gestion de nos activités au quotidien. Je vais par exemple parler de l'intelligence émotionnelle, comment gérer les équipes, comment prendre en main, comment déléguer le pouvoir, comment déléguer des activités pour être plus efficace, pour pas que le travail pèse sur une autre personne, une seule personne. Ça, on l'applique au quotidien. En tout cas, je profite pour dire merci.
Merci.
Voilà. Mais mesurer et dire, on a eu avoir des éléments de mesure, avoir des résultats déjà en quelques mois, c'est pas évident. En tout cas, moi, je n'ai pas encore, mais néanmoins, je rassure que les éléments de formation, les conseils que nous avons reçus nous aident à améliorer la gestion au quotidien. Et je voulais vous dire merci également pour l'opportunité de renforcer les capacités de ceux qui ne sont pas forcément anglophones purs et durs. Et ça va aider parce que j'avoue que ça fait une faiblesse. Pour moi, ça constitue une faiblesse. La barrière de la langue constitue une faiblesse. Pour nous autres, surtout pour moi, quand je regarde dans tout le groupe, je suis moins outillée à m'exprimer correctement en anglais et ça constitue une barrière de sorte que je ne dis pas forcément qu'il faut qu'il y ait des groupes de francophones, non. Il faut qu'il y ait des groupes mixtes comme vous le faites et ça permet d'améliorer les séances de renforcement de capacité que vous voulez organiser vont permettre d'améliorer et d'aider à rentrer dans les groupes bilingues. J'avoue que j'ai souffert un peu à Dakar. La formation se faisait en anglais. Voilà, certaines participantes elles ont été formidables. Elles prenaient le temps pour ce qu'on ne comprenait pas, d'expliquer pour qu'on ne perde pas toutes les informations. Mais sinon, aller à une formation comme ça où tout le monde est bilingue, où la barrière de la langue se fait réellement sentir, Ça me permet pas d'être au niveau de la formation que tout le monde. C'est après, quand tu relis tes documents, que tu captes l'essentiel, un peu plus de 80% de la formation. Sinon, séance tenante, c'est un peu pénible. Donc, les séances de renforcement de capacité en anglais seraient les bienvenues pour nous autres qui sommes francophones pur et dur et qui essayons de pénétrer le monde anglophone. Je sais que toi, tu me comprends.
Je comprends parfaitement et vraiment, je te remercie d'avoir soulevé ça. Vraiment, j'apprécie. J'apprécie cette franchise. Parce que comme on le dit, si on ne sait pas les problèmes, bon, si tu as fini, ça me permet de rebondir rapidement sur ce que tu viens de dire. Effectivement, pour nous, si tu as fait attention, nulle part on a mis impact. En fait, pour nous, il était important quand même, ça fait quand même quelques mois. Si on laisse comme ça, c'est comme si on laisse dormir, comme on dit en anglais, we lose the momentum, comme on dit en anglais. C'est pour ne pas perdre l'élan. Ça dit quelque part, regarde déjà, on vient de commencer même. Je vous assure que moi, je me dis que c'est comme si on atteint déjà, nous, on atteint nos objectifs. Pour être honnête avec pourquoi? Vous prenez le cas de Marine Belko qui dit, moi, le partenaire d'un projet a proposé que je sois la coordinatrice, donc que j'accède à un poste de décision, mais en interne, dans mon institution, il y a des défis. Pourquoi on ne la confirme pas? Donc c'est bon que nous, on voulait savoir de ce dont on a besoin en termes de stratégie pour pouvoir résoudre ce genre de problèmes. Ça, c'est un. De deux, vous-même, vous venez de dire, il a fallu qu'on organise ça pour voir que il faut qu'on prenne, Bita a commencé, qu'on prenne en compte les formations en anglais. Oui. Tu es d'accord avec moi? Donc, c'était très important pour nous.
Tous les appels, la majeure partie des appels se font en anglais. Quelquefois, on est en train de compétir, on veut bien compétir, ça répond au profil, mais la barrière de la langue fait qu'on hésite.
Je sais, ça fait mal, parce que vous perdez beaucoup d'opportunités. Je sais de quoi tu parles, sérieux. Et c'est pour ça que j'ai dit la formation en anglais est importante. On va considérer cela. Ne vous inquiétez pas. Nous, on va avoir une réunion et puis on va considérer ça dans le planning. On nous a demandé notre planning. Donc, on va considérer ça, ne vous inquiétez même pas. Le substantive writing aussi était prévu. Madame Belgo l'a soulevé. Donc, on va l'activer. Maintenant, voilà. Maintenant aussi, pour ce que tu as dit, Félicia, par exemple, avoir les formations en 2 langues, français et anglais, pourquoi pas? Moi, je pense qu'il faut aussi, on peut aussi considérer cela, il n'y a même pas de souci. Par exemple, pour les trainings, les workshop training à venir, on peut faire la traduction. Oui, on peut avoir la... Oui, nous, de toute façon, nous, au cours, on a l'habitude de le faire. Et que aussi, c'est pareil. Mais on se disait comment on a fait... Moi, je sais qu'on a eu à discuter de cela. Est-ce qu'il fallait prendre des traducteurs? Bon, on s'est dit, c'est vrai que pour être honnête, ça nous a échappé à savoir qu'on pouvait avoir des francophones. Parce que même les francophones se débrouillent. Et c'est moi-même qui l'ai dit.
On se débrouille, mais on n'est pas aussi rapide.
J'ai bien compris. J'ai dit que je reconnais que c'est moi-même qui ai soulevé ce problème. J'ai dit non, puisque c'est des femmes chercheurs, donc même les francophones se débrouillent. Maintenant, comme tu l'as dit, il est important quand même qu'on puisse considérer la traduction dans les formations. Je dis, il n'y a pas de problème. Voilà. Ok, mais Félicia, tu as fini?
Oui, j'ai fini.
Merci beaucoup, vraiment. Donc, il n'y a pas de souci. On prend tout ça comme le... Nous, on a besoin de savoir de tout ça. Et ça, je vous dis...
Non, projet bi moo amoon benn pause rek problème yi rek ay problème de coordination.
Elle a qu'à fermer son micro. C'est qui?
Voilà, mais on est en train de résoudre ce problème. Voilà, avec les partenaires. Donc, pour sauver toujours l'intérêt de continuer à travailler avec nous.
Madame Belko.
Donc, il y a une solution qui a été proposée.
Madame, c'est madame qui parle. Belko.
Je suis en train de...
Oui, c'est elle qui parle. Donc,
Belko, fais ton micro, s'il te plaît.
Voilà, maintenant, les dañoo am ñoom ñu yónnee loo xam ne brièvement dañ ko
appelle-la.
Parce que ñoo xam ne bon les key accomplissement yu ñuy laajte bon c'est juste deux 3 points qu'ils demandent quoi. Donc le premier point c'était que est-ce qu'on a mis à jour nos breeding product profile pour moi. Donc Ndeye Fatou elle a les données mais elle a maté.
Oh là là, Marème.
Tout est...
I've managed to mute her.
Thank you. I really appreciate. Now,
so what's the summary of what you were discussing?
Sorry, for English, sorry about that. What Felicia was saying, she said, to be honest, she can't say that what she learned from the workshop wasn't helpful. It has been very useful for her. She's using what she learned, but she must confess that the language barriers impacted for what she learned there. That, and I'm really sorry. I have to say that I'm sorry. And I also share with her, to be honest, I realized when we organized this at CORAF, we just asked whether we need some translation. I said, no, you know, these are female researchers, scientists. So even for the Francophone, they manage. And so I told her that I'm the one who said that there was no need for translation, but I'm sorry that for the next time we need to consider a translation. One. So this is what she said basically. Otherwise, it has been useful, and for her being Francophone with difficulties in English. So during the training, some of the ladies the ladies really help her to understand during the training. And for her, it was kind of missed opportunity for some maybe issues that were raised during the training because she couldn't really get them very well. So I had to apologize and said, but it's important to know that then next time we'll see how we can consider the translation in some of these training. And yeah, I think she mentioned also, maybe I forgot. Yes, I think that's it. So, and she acknowledged that the Francophone, they are really losing the opportunities because when there is call for application for research, grants, etc., when it is in English, they are reluctant to apply because of language barrier. And then she put emphasis on the importance to really take into consideration this training on in English for the Francophone people. And I said, I'm going to push this forward because we could see this is impacting on your scientific career and with regard to the objective of the work we are doing to contribute to close the gender gap in climate research. So we need to take it seriously. So she also mentioned something like, we cannot talk about impact now because we just finished the training just some months ago. It's not, we cannot talk about impact. And I had to correct that. No, we are not talking about the impact, but we cannot also leave the process like that, otherwise we might lose the momentum. We need to keep the momentum to know where you are, how have you been, and what are you doing. And I said, look at now, we are hearing, what we are hearing is very important. Mariam, for instance, she was a partner of a project, said she should coordinate the project. It's kind of accessing decision-making position. But internally, she couldn't access the position. So I said, these are some of the challenges we need to hear from you. You see? So also it came up also the need for this English training in English, training in communication, training on writing, scientific writing. I said, so the meeting, this webinar was really also very important for us to do, while we also know that it's soon to talk about really impact. But still, we need to know what are the challenges you are faced with so that we can meet the expectations. Thank you. So who next? Therese, I hope you got
all the hands are done, and
okay. So let us move on with
more people who want to talk. Yeah.
Who want to talk?
Evaristo, you wanted to say something?
Yes.
Oh, there's Amanda.
Yeah, I haven't.
Amanda wants to say something. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thanks, Dr. Maiga, and really thanks to the AICCRA team for organizing.
Thank you. Oh, I miss you.
I miss you too. No, it's really nice actually to connect with everyone again, even if it's virtually. But yeah, I wanted to share. So I'm Amanda, everyone, from IRI,
Yes.
Columbia University. And I just wanted to share like some of the ways I've, used some of the information and appreciated some of the connections from the workshop we had back in Senegal. So for me, at least, I think the most impactful thing that I took away from the workshop was on communication, and especially on those presentation skills that we had to do towards the end. For example, I was in a workshop last week in Nairobi. I'm still in Nairobi, and I gave a presentation that I've given at least 10 times before. It's on climate curriculum development, but I put into practice, and I've actually been putting into practice some of the things we talked about, like, not staying next to the board, kind of walking around the room, making the presentation more interactive, speaking with more energy. And I can actually see the difference, like in the body language and the reactions of people that just from that, simple change. And I think my message is definitely getting across clear. And even if I'm not confident, if I can just fake it even and speak confidently, I think it's making a difference, at least, in this small way. On team building, I've tried to spend a little more personal time with some of my teammates and see kind of what motivates them in terms of their values. So when I'm trying to mobilize them to do something, I can kind of frame things in, I don't know, a way that will resonate with them. And then, on conflict resolution and emotional intelligence, I've definitely had quite a bit of conflict since the workshop. I mean, I think it's the nature of just working with people is to have, disagreements, but I think some of the information shared on, how to resolve conflicts and emotional intelligence has been helpful. Just having more open body language, not speaking with my arms crossed, and like, I don't know, taking a kinder tone when disagreeing, acknowledging other people's points of view. I think, it's been a short time, but I think that the disagreements have been a little bit more fruitful because of that, if I can use that word. And then I also wanted to say, besides the content from the workshop, I really appreciate the WhatsApp group community. It seems like a small thing, but it's actually not. I like how, when someone does something on there, we celebrate their wins. And I've seen a lot of opportunities shared around like PhD thing, programs, fellowships, whatnot. And it's not just for us. Like when I see something posted, I often repost it, up to my status or some other platform. And I've lived in, some different countries, Uganda and Senegal and elsewhere. And, I've had people say, oh, this is interesting. Thanks for sharing this. Or I didn't know about that organization. It's not for me, but I read about, the opportunity at least. So I feel like even those things are really, really important. And I think, for next phase, recommendations, I think it was Madame Belko who is talking about proposal writing. I think it would be really good to have increased some kind of capacity building specifically around like foundational knowledge on gender terms, things like this, because when I'm writing a proposal, like IRI doesn't have a specific gender person. It's kind of everyone's job, but I'm not a gender specialist. I'm not necessarily trained on that. So I would often like to propose activities and what we're the wider proposal, but I am not clear on concepts like gender sensitive versus gender specific versus gender responsive versus gender transformative and things like this. So it's like if I'd like to frame activities and issues, like I'd like to be able to, have that be taken in a serious way and talk about it intelligently. So for me, I actually would love some kind of basics training on gender. And then the other thing I was going to recommend is maybe how can I be an effective mentor to other young women in my organization? Like if I were to choose a mentee, for example, how can I mentor them effectively? I don't know like how different this would be from leadership versus mentorship, but these are a couple of things I've been thinking about since the workshop. And yeah, that's all I have to say for now. I won't take up more time, but greetings from Nairobi and great to connect with everyone again. Thank you.
Oh, Amanda. Thank you so much. You made my day. So then for Amanda, I think, thank you. What I like, the recommendation you made is very important. Yeah. So I was so happy to see how the workshop was useful to you in terms of presentation skills, communication skills during the presentations. So I just remember the show that we had during this exercise. It was just amazing. So I'm glad that at least you really make use of it and yes, to improve your confidence during the presentation. I'm very happy about that. At least we didn't lose our time and energy during this workshop. So for the next phase, we said we are really willing and open to have recommendations in terms of additional capacity building you may need. So I took note. So you said, how can you, capacity building on how to incorporate gender dimension in proposal writing, for instance, or in the research proposal writing, right? So I think we see how to organize that, no problem. Yes, to make sure that the research proposal can be increased and gender responsive, you need to have capacity building on that.
Yeah.
Definitely, I agree with you. So the mentorship also versus, or I don't know, leadership, why not? Let us think about that. But any case, as Alice raised it, because it was planned to continue the capacity building for you already. So it's important for us to know what are the needed or what are the additional needs in terms of capacity building. And I think it fits there, and definitely we are going to see how we can take this up. No problem. Thank you so much, Amanda. Really appreciate it.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. Okay, now, Therese, Unes, Fatima, Maile?
Fatimata
Mailet.
and then Mahilet.
Okay, Fatimata and then Mailet. Fatimata.
Oui, Dr. Maida, I'm trying English.
Ça va?
I'm very familiar. I want to add a recommendation in our list. It's about technique of negotiation. Most of the time, we have
technique of negotiation. No, on our first, we didn't do that during the leadership workshop. It's part of the leadership workshop.
Well, but more in detail. Go in detail.
Okay.
Because most of the time we face with financial partners, so it's very needful and important to have some key of negotiation to better manage discussion.
Okay. Okay, I took note. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Binta, merci. Okay. Therese, let's move on.
Mahilet.
Okay. Thank you all. How are you? Nice to meet you. Dr. Maiga, I'm happy to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to say something that I grasped from the workshop, which is on Dakar. The main thing is I make use of how to collaborate with peoples and also self-presentation. I got a chance to attend at the international institutions at the head office at Rome. I went to FAO and I went to IFAD headquarters and I make to talk with the people working there, and I used this collaboration to present myself.
Wow.
And also, yeah. And also there was another workshop, which is Science Week, which is organized at France. And there was a blind dating with different institutions, with different scientists. And within a short period of time, I have to present myself. I have to say something, what I should do and what I want from them and what I have to give them. So I can present myself to them. So it helped me self-presentation and also self-control matters. I make use of this from the workshop. I'm grateful to got that training before, and nowadays also I'm in European country for short-term scientific, advanced scientific training, which is for 6 months. Yeah, so now I'm looking for capacity building on my areas to make use of it. And what I'm using is I work very hard, but after some time I celebrate myself.
Wow.
I give time for myself. So it makes me to refresh and to think for another work I should prepare. And it helped me. So what I'm to say is, on the climate smart agriculture technologies, we women are facing almost similar in the world, especially in Africa. We women are facing the same problems with the farmers, with the researchers. So we are the one who can feel the problems of females. So we have to make sure to take the opportunities coming to us and to share, because we have to have something to share for our community, for our peoples, for our sisters, for our elders. So I want to give emphasis, especially on the mentorship aspect. It's regionally, it's being accelerated now. So if we make use of this, we could attain these problems are facing. For example, women can easily adopt the CSA climate smart agriculture technologies, because we know how to reach them. We know which technology is important for them. So if we go this method, which it would be great, I think. So I want to thank you all for all supporters and for opportunities you are sharing. I'm grateful for that. I'm looking all the opportunities, and some of the opportunities are mostly on plant sciences aspect. And I say sometimes if some biodiversity areas of opportunities, if it is posted, if it is on livestock areas, if it is posted, it will be more grateful and inclusive. Thank you very much.
Oh la la, Maile, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So, like you said, I mean, you are just enjoying opportunities, definitely. With FAO, IFAD, no, vraiment, comme on dit, mashallah. Oh, I'm very happy to see also that, as you mentioned it, the way the workshop was useful for you in terms of collaborations, in terms of presenting yourself, in terms of selling yourself. You see, with the partners, what are you doing? So you learn how to present, to make a presentation. You learn how to have the self-control, self-confidence during the presentation. We are very happy to know that. Thank you so much. So I'm glad to see that you are also benefiting from a short-term advanced scientific training. And that after hard work, you should learn also how to celebrate yourself. Yeah, very interesting, very exciting. So the mentorship, as we said, for me, I see it as a recommendation. It's very important. So very important, came up again. Armanda raised it. You also raised it. And I agree with you, because with the mentorship, you give back what you learn. And as I could see it, it's also help you, female researchers, to facilitate access to climate smart agriculture for women known as underprivileged. You see, so thank you so much. It's very well I mean, I took note, and I can assure you, we are going to consider all of these issues in the coming activities for you guys. Thank you so much. So Therese, who else? Me, I recently I had a mentee. I can see Dr. Jeroxy. Are you online? Jeroxy? Dr. Jeroxy? Okay, I wanted her to join the call. So I can see, maybe I don't know. Okay, Therese, can we move on? We do have the second. I think let us move on for the second session. Yeah. Is Sophia around? Otherwise, yes, maybe I will have to. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. I think we got a lot of information. Thank you. We are really grateful to see that we didn't lose our time and energy to organize this workshop. We could see really so far the impact, but also we learn from the challenges you guys are faced with. And I can tell you and assure you that we are going really to consider some of these issues in the next step for the capacity building program that we are planning for you. Take over to you, Sophia.
Okay, hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes,
I'm sorry. Well. Okay, good. I'm in a new location, so I'm sorry I can't turn on my camera. But
okay, let me shoot off my.
Okay. But thank you very much for leading this session, Mariam, Dr. Mega. And thank you to everyone who has already contributed some comments. This is very, very helpful for us in planning for the future, but also in understanding how this helped you and might not have helped you and what we could do in the future. So let me just change the perspective on this just a little bit and talk a little bit more about what kind of challenges do you face in relation to your leadership roles in your organization, and whether you have been helped a little bit about this, or whether these are other leadership issues that perhaps we should take into account in the future, or can we support these challenges in some way? So I'm talking mostly now, not so much about progression in your career, but leadership in your organization. Are you a team leader? Are you a manager? And if you can think for a minute on what your specific leadership challenges are. Do you want to move up in your organization? Do you want to move to a different organization? Is that in your plan? And what challenges do you face that either we can help in the short term or we can start to talk about in the longer term? So I'll open the floor to that. So let me start with maybe an example. I am mentoring a person at another institution who is not doing climate work per se, but she is doing some work around gender and agriculture in Africa. And she has put together a plan on where she wants to be working in 5 or 10 years. And she wants to gradually move from a national organization to perhaps a regional or an international organization. And so she's putting together a plan to get her to that place. I see we do have a hand up, so I won't take too much time. But is that something as well that would be useful for you? Would career planning or thinking about your future be a process that would be of interest to you? But let me hand it over to the floor.
Yeah, Nemeka, you want to say something? You've raised your hand.
Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon. Bonjour à tous. Dr. Mega, Dr. Sophia, everybody, it's good to see you again. Can you hear me?
Merci, bravo, Nemeka. Parle français maintenant. Go ahead.
Okay. Dr. Mega, I want to say that you're such an encourager. I was in between the meetings, but when I saw your chat, I just have to respect it and get out of the meetings to join these women. Women are important too. I'm grateful. I am happy to inform you that the training has really made a lot of good impact on me, and I have rubbed off from some of my colleagues. As soon as I got back, my CEO quickly asked me to join the gender unit to work out one or two things. And with that, we could plan the gender strategy for the period that was already ready for launching. So I could add my voice to the program. I could attend, and when we got there, the CEO was actually energizing the women, telling the people that attended that it was the women that were headed pursuing, advancing their career in our organization. And to me, that was very good. And he mentioned my name. And then it has been, oh, doctor, please tell us more. And I'm quick to share actually what I got. And I have been given 2 opportunities to actually submit 2 proposals or plans that can help us move it forward. So in the pipeline right now, it's for me to actually cascade to the women in the research system. And as I speak, I got an approval 2 days ago on Monday before coming to Abidjan here. By the way, I'm speaking from, I'm right now in Abidjan. And so as soon as I get back, I'm going to work it out to see how I address the stakeholders in our research system, to share all that I've been doing and all that I've gotten. So part of what I'll share would be what some of the good ideas I got from the women in agriculture and climate change research leadership training. And the challenge, Dr. Sophia, thank you for bringing up that question. What challenges are we facing? Yeah, I know there's an adage that says more work brings up more challenges. The challenge I have now is how to be able to use this limited time I have to actually carry out all these activities. I know we dealt a lot with time management. So sometimes I'm not able to finish what I thought I would do in a day, and it spills over to the next, and the next day has a particular target. So I see myself going back to the jottings, to the modules, the books we use for our training, for women leadership training. And I look at, okay, where am I missing it now? I'm not able to finish that today, so tomorrow I need to finish this before going to the base target. And so I have spillovers. So probably that's the challenge I need. I will be needing help here. Another challenge is that I became a team leader also to organize staff, some category of staff for their schedule of duty, those who are not able to actually deal with what they have to do in a day. So I organized a 2-day training for 2 categories, a senior level and a junior level, and I saw that I could put to use every tactics were given during this workshop. So you know what it is to talk to your seniors and then talk to your juniors the next day, and then marry both people to be able to bring up a result for the management. And I thought that I was able to do the switch. I could remember during the training, Dr. Mega would say, yeah, you can do it. So when I remember I can do it, I was able to do the switch. But the challenge now is after that, the people are my team. They find it difficult to package their results each, because I gave everybody their own. They find it difficult to package their results and bring up package their reports. And each time I check on them, they go like, tomorrow. They keep postponing. So now that's my challenge. I don't need to be harsh. I need to be emotionally stable to handle it. I say, Dr. Sophie, Dr. Mega, I need that. That's a challenge for me. How to get my team members to actually be on time with their report without losing my patience with them. That's a big challenge. Thank you very much.
Oh, Nemika, thank you so much. Okay, Sophia is sharing the session. Sophia, over to you. Sophia, I hope we didn't lose Sophia. Sophia? Sophia has a network problem, I think. Therese?
Maybe we can continue with, yeah, Sophia is here, but maybe, I don't know, we can't hear her.
I'm here. Sorry, I had a problem with my microphone. So thank you very much for those comments. It's so exciting to hear that you have already been able to pass on the experience of the workshop and to share it with your team. Congratulations on being promoted recently to team leader. It's very, very exciting and impressive, but we understand the issue of time and time use, ability to do all the tasks we need to do in a day and at work. But of course, for women as well, we often have a number of family obligations that are also keeping us very, very busy. And children, household care, cooking, and so forth, these are also very important activities. And yet we also probably often have to take those on as well as our work obligations. And so this is an issue that we will also highlight and look at how we can provide some support on time management, on work-life balance, which is a really important issue for women. So thank you very, very much for those comments. Now, Dr. Robert Zugmore has also would like to make some comments. Robert, would you like to comment now, or would you like to wait until we've heard more comments from the participants? Hello, nice to see you here. Thank you for joining us.
Now. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Greetings to all these great women leaders. I just feel like I'm in the conference room where there were this show among you guys. So congratulations for all the progress so far. In relation to the question by Sophia about, how you believe the training is now kind of influencing your leadership role within your institution. I would also add that, this will start with, for instance, how your male colleagues are also now seeing you as a colleague. I guess there will be some changes in terms of behavioral way of considering you. And this is a good outcome, actually, that you need to also capture along the, the process. So I'm talking like that because I know that most of the time we men, we tend to kind of consider women who want to express their leadership as, women who don't have value, This is the fact. And I believe that through the training and then your behavioral change, it will make these men also change their behavior vis-a-vis you guys. So it's an important indicator you can also try to capture. But again, I'm really happy to see how, everyone is expressing the changes since the training. I will stop here. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Robert. Thank you for those comments and keeping in mind our male colleagues. Therese, I'll pass it on to you to call up the next person.
Alice is the next one. Alice, please, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you. Je vais répondre à la question du professeur Robert sur comment est-ce que nos collègues de sexe masculin apprécient les changements qui sont en train de s'effectuer en nous. Je veux dire, quant à ma part, que pour moi, quitter du caractère épidémique au caractère du self-control que j'ai aujourd'hui suscite en eux plutôt une sorte de curiosité. Donc, ils sont là à se demander qu'est-ce qui s'est passé, quelle est la transformation interne qui a pu se passer en cette femme qui chaque fois était toujours en train de crier sur son équipe parce que les choses n'étaient pas faites à temps. Maintenant que j'adopte plutôt un caractère de contrôle de ma personnalité et savoir comment manager l'équipe, savoir comment communiquer avec l'équipe, savoir comment partager les tâches et que nous puissions arriver à produire les résultats à temps, ça suscite plutôt une curiosité de la part de mes collègues hommes. Voilà.
Thank you. Could I ask one of my French-speaking colleagues to summarize? I think Alice made some comments about how this is affecting her behavior in the workplace and increasing her confidence and ability to interact with her colleagues. But if someone who has better French than me can elaborate, thank you very much.
So maybe I can try. So Alice basically is reflecting on my comments to highlight that from her perspective and experience, her leadership change has attracted more of curiosity by men. And they are surprised actually to see how she is now behaving with confidence, you know, with more confidence about her job, her behavior vis-a-vis of the different colleagues. And this is something I think is really crucial in terms of also having some side effect, you know, of your training skills. So the impact of this training is not just only on you directly, but it also has some core benefit vis-a-vis your colleagues, especially the men. That's what I can say from her talk. Thanks, Alice.
Great, thank you very, very much. Do we have any other comments on this particular topic or any comments in general that people would like to make or questions to ask before we move on to the last session? Okay, so I will move into a little bit of a summary of what we've heard as key areas to move forward on, and I will speak on behalf of how AICCRA can approach the follow-up and the way forward on developing further activities and a program of activities and research around this. So we've heard a lot of first of all, it was really, really great to hear that this workshop has really benefited people in the workplace. You know, we've heard about how our women leaders are acting with more confidence in the workplace. They are making presentations that are more sophisticated, really, reaching people effectively. They feel more confident interacting with people in their professional capacity, and that's really great. And that's one very large step to moving forward and to expressing leadership, as well as engaging with your colleagues in the workplace and having them look at you in a different way and to listen to what you have to contribute. And so we've heard that some of the men in these workplaces, or some of the male colleagues, are seeing this difference, which is great. And it's very soon after the workshop, so it may take them a little bit of time to understand what our women leaders can contribute. But this is a very good start. We've also seen how this has helped people practically in their daily jobs, prioritizing, delegating tasks, working with their teams more effectively. And we've seen how much of the learning of this workshop is being translated and is being passed on to people in our organizations, which is very exciting for us as well. We've heard about some key issues to move forward on, and we will go back and we are taking notes on this, and we will come back to you with a proposed plan of action for the short term and the long term. Some of the things we've heard about are access to short-term training of different types. I think one of the things that was said was more support on communicating results and on writing up science, as well as so for science writing, but also communication with colleagues in different forums. Translation and French language support was highlighted very strongly, and we will definitely take note of this. We may, for example, we may make some activities available in both English or French, or we will look into the possibility of translation. So yes, we are making a note of this very clearly forward. So one of the things on the top of my head, I think one of the things we can do in the short term is there were specific topics that were mentioned that would be useful for our network to access resources on or training on. One of the things that we can do is start to set up a monthly or bi-monthly webinar series on specific topics of value to this group. For example, perhaps a webinar on basic approaches to gender mainstreaming, basic concepts in gender and agriculture, in gender and development, in gender and climate research as resources for people in the network. We can also try to ask some people in the CGIAR Gender Diversity and Inclusion Unit to come and talk to us about workplace environment and work-life balance. So we will come back to you with a set of activities that we could provide on webinars. We may also, if there's interest in the group, and we will ask you online and you can let us know if there's interest in a monthly or bi-monthly networking, not webinar, but chat forum perhaps, where people can get together to network, to talk about upcoming issues, to ask for advice or input on issues that they're facing at work, to just exchange views and information on how their leadership roles are changing, or how their workplace experience is changing or could be changed and improved. And we could have one available in French and one available in English, and so that people can talk in their language of choice and the language they feel more comfortable with. It could even be a forum for talking about working on proposals together, or providing support to each other. So we will get back to you on that as well. So those are some of the short-term ideas that we have. We will be preparing a proposal for funding for an additional phase, whether this will be in AICCRA or connected to AICCRA. We are fairly confident, as Dr. Mega has said, we are fairly confident that the additional funding for AICCRA will come through, but we do not have the formal notification yet. So in the meantime, we will start to plan a set of longer term activities to support this network and to support this program of action, including perhaps some sort of funding program for additional career training, additional research on career and professional issues, an extended webinar and support series. And we would also like to hold additional in-person workshops on some of these topics that have been mentioned in leadership, perhaps on negotiation and mentorship, or other topics that were identified in the workshop report. We do want to have another leadership training workshop similar to the one that we held in different regions. We may have another one in West and Central Africa with AICCRA partners. The last workshop was primarily with AICCRA institutions, but we would also like to bring in more partner institutions in all of the regions. So this is just a very informal, preliminary list of activities that we hear coming from you. Before we move to, before I pass the floor on to Madam Mega, I would like to know if there's anything I've missed that anyone feels that has come up today, or that really should be included in this list of potential activities, or anything they'd like to add to this list. If so, please let us know now, and we'll give or send us an email.
Thank you so much, Sophia. Dr. Maiga, do you have anything to add? And with that, you can also proceed to the closing remarks. You can add whatever Sophia has left in terms of action points and proceed with closing. Thank you, and over.
Thank you so much, Therese. Actually, I think Sophia, I mean, she said everything. I really don't have anything to add on what she just mentioned. I think we'll come back to you with a kind of action plan for you maybe to check whether or not we really addressed some of the issues that you raised in terms of capacity building. And then, yes, and then together we can move on to implement the action plan. So I would like really to take the opportunity again to thank you so much for allocating your busy time to attend this workshop and this webinar. Felicia said it is, we can't talk about impact as such, but definitely we needed to hear from you where we are. How are you really using what you learned from the workshop on the leadership? And we could see, Sophia mentioned it, that really this workshop, leadership workshop, was really benefited each of you. Thank you for sharing with us how this workshop impacted your career or is impacting your career. Thank you for sharing your fears and the challenge you are faced with in your career development. I think in terms of challenges, I can tell you that we are more than committed to come up with actions, as I said, to really make sure that we are going to push this agenda forward. Definitely, we are going, and I'm sure that we'll make it. So please, bear in mind that the Skype should be your limit. The Skype should be our limit. Thank you so much. Over to you, Therese.
Felicia, you have raised your hand. Okay, it's good. I would like to ask Dr. Robert if you have anything to add to the closing before we close.
No, nothing, please.
Okay, Sophia.
I would just also like to say thank you very much for being with us this morning and for giving us some of your very, very busy working day. This has been a really rich discussion, and we're very excited that there is still interest in working with us on this, and we really hope to develop an active program following up on this. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you so much indeed. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Please, thank you. Bye.
Please let me make this quick information.
Thank you. Bye.
For the WhatsApp group, please make sure that is more than active than it is now. Please, we need you to be very, very active in the WhatsApp group where we are sharing opportunities, everything. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. Thank you, Mariam. Thank you.
Thank
Sonia,
you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
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 Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.